So just to take a little bit deeper dive into some of these, one, I think that, like I said earlier, that I think is really important is connection. There's a lot of different ways we can do this, but part of it's just listening to our kids, not blowing them off, not being behind a computer as they're describing something that's important to them, but truly listening to what they like, what they don't like, how they experience something, without really giving our own input, but just noticing, what they value, what their concerns are, what brings them joy, whatever it may be, but being very present while we're listening. It's also important to ask for opinions on thoughts that they have. When you're making a decision about your house or maybe a camp they're going to go to or something, a lot of times we just kind of make these decisions for them. But it can be helpful to ask for their opinions and thoughts so they feel kind of part of that decision making. Family time, I think we all know this, is very important. And just making sure it's device free. There's been continuous research since we were kids of the value of having dinners together, and what an impact that can have. I know we have busy lives, so we can't always do that, but scheduling a few a week and just having that time as a family can be really important. Also encouraging groups or activities that they show interest in, even if you have no interest in them. So if your kid's showing interest in magic and it's like something that's not in your wheelhouse, something you don't really have much interest in or care for, really, if that's something they show value in or encourage or an interest in, really encouraging them to seek it out and help facilitate that for them. And not only with our family is it important, but also when they are with friends, try to do this device free. We know a huge protective factor for our kids is their meaningful relationships in their lives. And it's a very isolating time right now with social media and devices. And even when we're all together, we're all looking down at our phones. So if we can really try to facilitate times with our friends that are really meaningful, that's a huge protective factor. This is also a handout. It doesn't have a title, but it looks exactly like this page that you see here. These are ways that we can help our kids build competence and character. So I'm not saying you have to sit down and fill this out with them, but there are opportunities that we can have these conversations with them and ask questions like these. So if you're driving in the car and your kid's real chatty or open or in a good mood, we can ask them, what are things that you think make you unique? Or what are the things in life that you value most? As humans, we tend to focus a lot on the negative. So if they don't get a good grade or if a friend is mad at them, that is their focus. And really what we've seen from research is that for every negative thing we hear about ourselves, it actually takes 11 positive things to outweigh that. So we focus so heavily on the negative that it can be important to ask these open-ended questions that can really facilitate their thinking and communication of how they feel about themselves in a positive way. They're going to already, be beating themselves up about all the negatives. So we want to find ways that we can bring out all the positives about them. And you don't want to be filling this out when your kid's in a bad mood or shut down or not wanting to have these discussions. These can really be used when you see an opportunity to have some positive communication time with them. And then the last one is coping, and this is on the worksheet titled Problem Solving Worksheet. But this is a tool you can use in helping them, decide how they are going to get through a certain challenge in their life. So you can talk it through with them. If they're kind of more visual and like to write things down, you can also use it as a tool. But really having them, not having you, having them identify what the problem is, identifying exactly what it is, and then having them also identify what their possible solutions are. So let's say their problem is that their best friend is mad at them. A solution is maybe I could go talk to her. What's the pros of that? Well, it may fix things and she may not really be that mad at me. The cons are she may not want to talk to me at all. And then they rate it. They say, on a scale from 1 to 10, how good of a solution is this? And so you're just helping them kind of figure this out on their own and then move forward with the one that has the best rating. And so you can do, 2 to 5 different solutions they may come up with, but it's really helping them facilitate their own coping strategies to deal with whatever problems are coming their way.